Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of Entertainment Expansion. We are your hosts, Tyler Callahan and Mike Ferrante. Mike, how are you doing?
You know, a little disappointed, but overall, I'm chilling. How about yourself?
Well, see, this is one of the few weeks I can't say I'm chilling because I would say I'm disappointed. Just like you, disappointed. Let's get right into it. So this is a bit of an emergency pod. We're not talking about a movie. We're not talking about a franchise. Well, technically we are about the future of one, but we're not talking about anything we've watched. Uh, as of this recording, the news has broke as of last night. To take to take some words from our very own Black Adam, Dwayne Johnson, the power hierarchy of DC is about to change, and it sure has. And who has left his mark? James Gunn. His first move, Henry Cavill's out of Superman. Done. He has mentioned, I will say, one benefit to James Gunn is he's very open on Twitter about shooting down rumors that are 100% false or actually giving updates. So he had a tweet thread saying, hey, we have a slate done. They know what the next few years of movies are going to be. We'll show it early next year, but the one thing right now is there will be a Superman movie. It is post-origin, early in his career, and because of that, you need a younger Superman, so Henry Cavill is out. They had apparently a very nice meeting. James Gunn has nothing but respect for Henry Cavill. Henry Cavill then went on Instagram and explained his side, basically again, same thing. He wished them all the best. He's done being Superman, all of that. In response to fans' comments, we can confirm he is writing the script, possibly directing, but not 100% right now. He also confirmed he has talked to Ben Affleck about directing a DC film, not Superman, but something else. And that's basically where we stand as in official confirmed news. We'll get to the rumors in a few minutes because there's a lot to process here. So, Mike, I'd say before we get into the ramifications of these moves, into what happens to DC as a whole, let's just keep it simple. Henry Cavill, done as Superman. We were teased a month ago he's back. Now he's not. How do you feel?
Well, just disappointed, Tyler. We got teased that he was coming back.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, we saw the light, and
We saw
then
we saw the light. I was in theaters for Black Adam, man. I saw the guy on the screen. There was one audience member cheered and yelled when he showed up on screen. That's the effect he has, and it's just gone.
yep. Now it is. Well, at least silver lining is we don't have to keep our hopes up for a Man of Steel 2 because that is just not going to happen anymore.
Yeah.
It's really a shame because Henry Cavill's Superman was probably one of the best Superman films that we've seen to date.
Mm-hmm.
But
I mean, Man of Steel was great, and I will say, obviously, we are more fans of the Snyder movies than a lot of other people. But I think even them, who Batman v Superman is garbage, Man of Steel isn't that good, it gets the character wrong. I think even they recognize as Superman, Henry Cavill killed it. Like their issue with the movies was more of Snyder's directing and the writing and how to them how bad the script was, but it was never with Henry Cavill just doesn't feel like Superman. Like, that was never the case.
yeah, no, he killed it in the role.
And I think really he does leave an impact in, with his time as Superman, basically being like even the general public were excited when he announced on Instagram that he was back. Like it wasn't this like, oh, there's a couple people online that just won't give up. Kind of like the Justice League with Zack Snyder. Like, no, this is like people are actually, oh, that's cool. That's great that he's back. Like, people actually cared for that. And it's over. I'm just disappointed we're not getting Man of Steel 2. Because I really think they could have done something special. Even if with the Flash, right, bringing in Supergirl, I think we got an interesting dynamic. You could have had Brainiac. Like there's multiple things you could have done with this.
Yep, but James Gunn doesn't want any part of it, which, to be fair, it makes a lot of sense
Yes.
because
Yeah.
the DCU right now is just in shambles. It's
Yeah.
kind of all over the place.
I
So
think we should clarify. We're very upset Man of Steel 2 is not happening, but in no way does that mean we are furious at James Gunn. I feel bad for him. He gets the DC to play around with and making his vision. More power to him. He has to make the hard choices like this.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
Let's look at the timeline. 2017 Justice League has come out. It has been 5 years since the first Justice League movie, and we're still spinning in circles on what the hell's happening. Meanwhile, Marvel since then had their big cinematic event with Infinity War and Endgame, and now they're slowly building up to their next cinematic event with Kang. And we're still spinning in circles. Flash will come out eventually. Just you wait.
a movie that no one really gives a shit about at this
Well,
point.
except for seeing both Batman. But I was saying, like, we've
Yeah.
known about Michael Keaton coming back as Batman for at least one movie now for like 3-4 years. Still haven't seen him because fucking Batgirl got trashed. So, like, we're just like the fact that from 2017 to now, the past 5 years, the only great, actual great DC movies is Snyder's version of Justice League and the Joker, and to a lesser extent, the Suicide Squad. That's it.
Yeah.
That's all we got in 5 years.
Yeah, and you can't really consider the Joker part of the DC.
Oh yeah, sorry, and the Batman. But yeah. Oh, I mean, I was counting all DC movies. If you want to go DCEU, then it straight up is just Suicide Squad and the proper version of Justice League. That's two.
Correct.
That makes it even worse.
Yes, it does. Like I said, it needs a clean slate. It's kind of it's time it happens.
It does, and I think we'll go into that with the rumors. But before we move on to that, again, there was one final piece here. Ben Affleck possibly coming back to direct a DC movie. Obviously, nothing's confirmed, just that they want him to direct. Question is to you, Mike, what would you want him to direct? Clearly, let's just move Batman off the table because that's being handled by Matt Reeves. He can direct anything else.
Well, they're gonna need a Batman for the series, honestly, because Matt Reeves' Batman is not going to be affiliated with the DCEU. But
True.
I really don't know, because Ben Affleck's expertise are more of crime drama.
That is true. He does handle a lot of that, which is kind of weird because then it points to he needs to direct their new Batman. Basically,
Yeah,
more grounded villains, crime. Like, I don't know. I find it unlikely that they would get a film, but I feel like Green Arrow and like his cast of characters might work.
yeah, I can see that happening.
More local, more like hands-on crime, gritty. I think that could work to a degree. But like even in my head right now, trying to imagine like a Green Lantern movie directed by Ben Affleck. I don't know. Like I don't. Maybe like he's a good director. I think he'd make it work. It's just trying to see him behind the camera doing that. It's weird.
Yeah. The problem is there's not too much in realism for him to be directing like that, you know?
Yeah, but that's the thing too. We also don't know what this new universe is going to be. Like,
That's
I
correct.
doubt it'll be as gritty as the Snyderverse, but we also like I assume it's going to be lighter than Snyderverse and the new Batman movie. But like, I don't think it's going to be a quip fest like the MCU. I think it'll be a middle ground.
I certainly hope so, because
I
they
hope so
tried to do
too.
that and
Yeah.
Burning crashed miserably.
But I mean, if there's anyone who makes a quip fest work, I guess it would be Gunn, at least for the Superman movie.
Yeah, but even then, you don't want it too quippy.
Agreed. Yeah.
And James Gunn's humor is also a certain type of humor. That's what gives me pause about.
Him writing Superman.
Yes.
I would agree with you, except he has done Guardians 1 and 2 fine. Like they're PG-13 movies. Didn't he write Scooby-Doo as well, the live action?
Yeah.
Or did he direct them? Or both?
I think he wrote them.
Yeah, all right. So he can do a PG movie, he can do PG-13. And look, dude, clearly the guy loves comics. I think he knows what Superman's comedy needs to be more towards. Like I don't think he's gonna take Guardians comedy, throw it into Superman movie and just call it a day. But the guy can definitely write for a PG or a PG-13 level. And I don't know. That's going to be an interesting movie because he says it's going to be a few years into his career at the Daily Planet. So like we're already going to have to go through a few things. It's definitely going to be interesting to watch. It's going to be interesting who they cast too.
Yeah, I think that's when we'll start really
Yeah.
getting a feel for what type of movie they're making.
Also, like who's the villain? Are we going straight up origin set up Lex Luthor, or are we just going for a small time villain to get the universe set first, and then we'll go into bigger stuff?
Yeah, it would make more sense small time villain,
It,
quite
it, it
frankly.
would, yeah. You don't want to because for Superman, Luthor is his Joker. That's the big one. Like you don't want to just kind of waste that.
Speaking of who they're gonna get to cast as Superman, got big fucking shoes to fill.
Oh, I feel bad for whoever takes the job
Yep.
because from
Coming
the
in
day they
after
are cast
Henry
to the day the movie
Cavill.
comes out, they will be shit on repeatedly.
Yeah.
So whoever that is, you have my respect. Good luck. You're gonna need it. Now, that's all the confirmed news we have. Now, there's been a bunch of rumors over the past few weeks. Warner Brothers leaking like a shiv right now. The biggest thing right now, I guess, is what happens to the rest of the DCEU. Man of Steel, done. Getting a reboot. We don't know about anything else. Now, Wonder Woman is in a gray area because Patty Jenkins is off 3. Her take of the movie is canceled, but like Gal Gadot, it's not been official that she's not playing Wonder Woman anymore. So I guess we get into the weird spot of technically Wonder Woman doesn't really age, right? So they could
Yep.
keep her in the new universe
This is true. Or they can get someone new.
and cheaper.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just
I
saying. I
think
read the article. She was if Wonder Woman 3 happens, Gal Gadot is getting $12 million for that. So someone who can act a bit better and
yeah, because I don't
cheaper.
think her performance and her excellent movie career so far is going to justify a bigger payday to stay in the role.
Here's the thing: she only works as Wonder Woman because she's the fish out of water, really, and like she's very static. If she needs to be emotional, it doesn't really work that well.
What do you mean? She was very emotional in Wonder Woman 84.
Yeah, after raping the dude.
Yeah, that's all right.
All right. So Wonder Woman is a big fat question mark. They could keep her. It won't be that hard to keep her. It's the question is, do they want to?
Correct. The bigger
I,
question, I think, is Jace Momoa as Aquaman.
Jason Momoa is Aquaman, but actually, I'm going to connect it even more. Peacemaker as well, because Peacemaker had
Yeah.
the final scene of Jason Momoa showing up, Ezra Miller showing up, and did Gal Gadot even show up as well? I thought she did.
I
I think it was just like Superman was
might
hid
have.
in the shadows because they weren't sure what they were doing with him.
Yeah.
Um, so that's the thing. Like Peacemaker, a show by itself was pretty good until the final scene. So, but look, that's James Gunn's show. Like, is he gonna kill his own show for this reboot? Maybe. The last we heard, there is still a season 2 happening. So this is where the tough question is: like, do you bite the bullet and be like, all right, this takes place in the new universe, or if so, how do you explain it? Personally, I think Jason Momoa is done after Aquaman 2 as Aquaman.
Yeah, I believe so as well. I think James Gunn will try to keep him
Well, the
in
rumor is
DC though.
possibly Lobo.
Yep, and I think
Change it up a
that
bit.
definitely fits.
It does. Lobo is definitely a character I think that with a little magic of James Gunn, I think can become a fan favorite for the general audience.
Absolutely.
And
And
from what we've heard, Momoa is on board. He's a fan of Lobo. So if he can't be
correct.
Aquaman anymore, he'll stay on board for that. Flash, I mean, the assumption pre James Gunn fixing this
He's done
up
anyway.
was he's
So
done. Yeah, he's done anyway. Like at this point, Warner Brothers is able to have him keep the peace basically until the movie comes out. Because I assume at this point, if he does anything else, they're just locking him into a room for the next 6 months.
he's gonna be on house arrest.
Yeah, just yeah. So Flash is done. That's easy. Shazam, I think, is a bit trickier because we don't know what connections they're going to make in the sequel. The first movie, I think, is pretty cut and dry. Besides one scene, really, the movie stands alone by itself. Yes, it references the characters, but besides the Henry Cavill suit and the Batarang, it's kind of all it's a separate thing.
Yeah.
So they could keep that if they want. Again, if any of the Justice League characters decide to show up in the sequel, I don't know. The rumor is some of them do for like a 5-minute scene. I don't know if that's still going to be in there. The rumor the past few days has been Henry Cavill in his comeback. That was supposed to happen. He filmed a cameo for Shazam 2. Now they're doing test screenings of it with it and without it. So I don't know.
Yeah, I heard they also did it for Flash as well.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Apparently, when they announced him coming back to get people excited for a sequel, he was going to start cameoing in a few of these films for a minute or two. And kind of continue the trend from Black Adam. And I assume now they will not be shown ever. So if you're one of the few test screening people that got to see those, congratulations, you're part of history, because that stuff is not seen the light today. My preference is that they keep Shazam. Honestly, the movie wasn't great, but I think it was a solid movie. Within one movie, you have a solid cast of characters that you can use in the DCEU. And I feel it's just kind of wasted if you let it go after the sequel. Now, you do have the issue of if you wait too long, the kids are going to age too fast. But, Zachary Levi's Shazam, I think, is good. I think it's good casting.
I feel like they still need to hit the reset button on that a little bit.
But why?
Because it was too soon that we have multiple Shazams.
So they blew their load too early. That's what you're saying.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying.
So like that should have been a sequel thing. So like Shazam handles the villain first one, no problem. Second one, it's too much for him. Boom, Shazam family shows up to help.
Yeah, because like right off the bat, his first movie, he can't even do it by himself.
I'm kind of okay with that though, because he's like a 14-year-old kid.
He's not when he's Shazam. Simple as that.
But it's the mind of a 14-year-old kid.
Hey, age doesn't matter. You ever see the movie Brightburn? I was a kid younger than 14.
Oh, you mean the evil Superman movie produced by James Gunn?
Yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Do you think he did it? He did it. No
Okay,
problems.
Cool. All right, well, he's a bit more competent than Shazam.
Oh, he's a bit more competent than a kid with the magical powers of Zeus. Not Zeus from Thor: Love and Thunder. Actual Zeus.
Okay, well, I think one reason why they can keep him is because apparently Dwayne Johnson refuses to do anything with his own cast of characters, the Shazam family.
Yes.
Again, one of the rumors that came out today is apparently he refused to do a cameo for Shazam 2. So clearly, and if anyone's been paying attention to the marketing for Black Adam, it kind of got weird toward the end. Mike, I don't know if you've seen any of his interviews or his Instagram clips, but when the marketing tour first began, it was see Black Adam. I'm in it. It's a passion project for me. You love me. You love DC. Go see the movie. Okay, makes sense. By the end of it, it's like, we really tried to bring back Superman, and Warner Brothers said no, they're a bunch of idiots. But hey, I brought him back for you guys. So hey, just say I'm not saying Superman's in the movie, but you should go see it because he might be in the movie. Like toward the end, there was always like when reporters would ask about Superman, he would just then pivot to talking about how Superman's important for the DCEU.
Yeah.
So clearly his mindset has been from the start. He's building up Black Adam to be one of the most powerful people in the DCEU, which by itself is okay, but that the only person who can handle him is Superman. Shazam, at this point, already beneath him. Even though that's his main adversary, it is beneath him. Clearly, he's still in the wrestling mindset of he is the main event. He is the final match. And the only one who can handle him is the other main eventer, Superman, who is missing. So I think I get it from his point of view, right? If you go by action stars and not the characters, that makes sense. But you're dealing with characters here who have had decades of history. And decades of history, Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, Shazam and Black Adam are more like the foe and adversary combo.
Well, they are. The interesting thing about that is it's less of an interesting movie than Black Adam vs. Superman.
Mm-hmm.
And here's why. Shazam and Black Adam they have the same exact powers. It's just who's going to use them better.
Mm-hmm. Black Adam.
Yeah, same powers, same weaknesses. Superman, on the other hand, is just as powerful, but has different weaknesses, one of them being magic. Funny enough, and so it's a little bit more interesting to see how that fight's going to go down
Yeah.
instead of them using the same powers against each other.
So you're saying there should be a Black Adam versus Superman movie?
Yes,
Okay.
that I think that would have been a good sequel, which is I think what The Rock was trying to do, but he ain't
Well,
getting no sequel.
no, I don't think anyone has an issue with Black Adam versus Superman. And look, me personally, as much as I want to keep the Shazam family around, I do enjoy them. I think they should be the lighthearted group of this universe. I have no problem. I'd be excited for Black Adam's Superman, fight night kind of thing. Maybe a bit better than Batman v Superman, but I'm all for that. I think the issue is he's not going through his own cast of characters first to then get to the main event. He's just skipping everything.
Yeah,
Like he brought in by himself the Justice Society, like the Justice Society of America, like a whole other hero group just for his movie.
this is true.
Like, which, hey, look, that's fine. We got Pierce Brosnan out of it. Thank you. But like, I think if he had his big fight with Shazam or a 2v1 Black Adam versus Shazam and Superman, I think that's what the people want. And I think at least what I'm seeing online, comments aren't positive to The Rock right now. He's a very positive guy, but people are starting to get annoyed that it's always about him and his big fight with Superman, and he's not. He's doing one of the cardinal sins. You don't disrespect the source material.
Yes,
And he's kind of wiping his ass with it right now.
slightly.
Again, I understand if he doesn't want to keep fighting Shazam over and over again. I get it. That's fine. But you got to have your like it was set basically. Like I would think if everything worked fine, Shazam 3 would be Black Adam versus Shazam, right?
Yeah, it would have to be.
Yeah. So you get that fight over with, but then you can go off and fight Superman, fight whoever you want, have fun. But the fact that you can't even, it's beneath you to show up in the Shazam movie, not even fight them, just talk to them or do something else. Just you're in the movie and it's like, nah, I don't want to. As Superman there? No? Okay. So I don't know. I think honestly, with the fact that Black Adam hasn't done well at the box office, to be fair, it hasn't had a China release. Still, the fact that Black Panther beat it in one weekend, I think Dwayne Johnson has lost a lot of power at the Warner Brothers, at least for DC. Because beforehand, there was no person running DC, so he's able over time to just demand what he wants. Because I mean, look, who are the new studio heads going to say no to? The Rock. Warner Brothers has been a mess for a while now. You have these new studio heads trying to fix up the studio. You need to play nice. So fine, they get back Superman. Well, the movie doesn't do well. So I don't think at this point we'll see. I'm calling right now. I don't think we see Dwayne Johnson as Black Adam again.
No, I don't think so either.
He got his passion project. It was 10, 15 years in the making. It's done. It's over. It was not a big hit. And he brought back one of the things we wanted, and that's not working out either. So please go ahead and do Jumanji 4. I mean, come on. I'm waiting for that.
Yeah.
No, seriously, I'm waiting for Jumanji 4. When is that coming out?
I wish I could tell you, pal. He's too busy pissing people off, I guess.
No, he's too busy now teaming up with Chris Evans and Jack J.K. Simmons as Santa for an Amazon movie. That's what he's filming now.
Forgot about that.
Still don't even know what that movie's about. Just that it's family for the entire family, but has action. And then J.K. Simmons is Jack the Santa. See, he's putting those muscles. He's putting those muscles from Justice League to good use. Proud of him.
That's what I was gonna say. Because he got yoked to play Gordon.
He got yoked, but he wears the trench coat.
We never saw him do anything other than say 2 lines.
But imagine if he was ripping up some parademons in Gotham City. Oh, what could have been.
Yeah, well, that's what the Snyderverse is, my friend. It's all what could have been.
So, I mean, that's kind of where we are at now. Obviously, we'll talk about more when we actually get more movie announcements. But look, I think I'm still excited for the DC movies next year. I'm still looking forward to Shazam 2. At least now, based on everything that's happened, Flash will be the last time we see Ben Affleck's Batman. We'll go pay our respects. Blue Beetle, I guess, could be good. And Aquaman, I don't care. I don't. The fact that that's probably the last DCEU movie is kind of like, really?
Well, they're saving the best for last. They got to find the next Pitbull cover to awkwardly put into a scene.
And assassinate. But yeah.
Yeah. But I think our viewers have listened to us drone on long enough about the future state of the DCEU and what direction Warner Brothers and James Gunn are heading in. I think what we're curious to know is what are all of your thoughts on Henry Cavill no longer being Superman? Are you as disappointed as we are, or are you indifferent? Are you excited to see the DCEU go into hopefully greener pastures at this point? Can't really get any worse. But as always, thank you for listening. Come check us, let us know at Entertainment Expansion. Check us out on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube.